be serious since the boss is here. Seriously, y'all heard me say this 1,000 times, lock your car doors and take your stuff that's important to you inside your house. Lock your car doors, take your important stuff inside the houses. We continue to have car break-ins. Some of them are unlocked vehicles. The majority of them are unlocked vehicles. One kid can turn our crime stats upside down and make it look like we just got all kinds of mess going on around here. And it can be one or two kids. So we've recently had a lot of car break-ins again, and they'll sweep through us. They'll sweep through Weddington, Wesley Chapel, Mint Hill, Matthews, and everywhere else. But the best thing we can do, lock your car doors, take your stuffs out, and if you see somebody or something in the neighborhood that don't look like it belongs there, call us. Our deputies out here at 2 o'clock in the morning wide awake waiting on you to call them. Look for something, so don't go out there and try to figure out what's going on, just pick up the phone and call us. Got a new, Walmart's got a new program that they got going on. Don't know what that's going to do for us, whether it's going to help or going to hurt us, but I did want to make you aware of it. They're going to try to do a program of deferral type thing where they're not going to call us when they have certain type of events over there. I don't personally think it works, but we've got a very proactive approach at our Walmart. We arrest you if you're breaking the law there. And if you're stealing, it seems to work well. And our Walmart crime rate currently right now is a lot lower than the surrounding Walmart crime rates, but we put a lot of time and effort into that. And some of the stats that I'd shared with council back in a few months ago, for the year of 2016, we had 68 arrests that happened at our Walmart here in Indian Trail. 150 reports were completed there. But we spent 224 different events that we went over there preventatively and proactively to try to be seen. And if we had the guys had a crash report that they needed to do on their laptop, they'd pull up at the front door in the parking lot, park over there and be seen and do deterrent type measures and those type things. You know, we feel like we're doing, you know, proactive. We're keeping those larcenies and those calls for service down. They spent 163 efforts over there at business checks where they got out of the car, walked inside, checked with the clerks and checked with people at nighttime, make sure things were good. And 36 times that they did foot patrols over there where they actually got out and spent time wandering around inside looking for people that may be up to no good, in addition to the Walmart folks that had working doing that. So I'll keep you updated. We're going to try to track that and see how their program works. You know, I'm not a big believer in it, but they're probably paying some company a lot of money to get it done, so we'll see if that works good. Last two things I got is bragging on our people a little bit. I told one council members this morning on the telephone about this, and it just it goes to the good work they're doing out here. But on Friday morning, Dak Richardson heard a call go out for a medical emergency out on the bypass. There was a construction crew out there doing some electrical line work out there, and they gave out a call, thought the man might have been electrocuted or had a heart attack. So Dak went over to Stinson Harsh Road and hiked it in about 100 yards to where he could get to the patient out there and began CPR on a man that turned blue already. And Dak was able to get his pulse back, and he's alive. So, knock on wood, that was a good deal. And you know, Dak normally writes speeding tickets around there and makes people mad. So that guy don't take complaining, but we're awful proud of him for that. And then also Mike Henry was over in the Meriwether subdivision on Friday and called in and said he needed a fire truck, and he went over there to return some property to somebody that had been stolen in a car break-in. So out of curiosity, I went to go see why he needed a fire truck over there. Apparently he stumbled upon a house fire about to happen. A man had been smoking on his front doorstep and throwing the cigarette butts into the bushes out there. Now, I'm not a fireman, and but I can tell you that's probably not smart. So he caught on fire, and his bushes burned up, and the siding started to melt up on his house. And Mike Henry was able to get the fire put out before the fire department got out there. So now they're mad at us, but we got the fire put out, and so everything was good with that. But you know, there again, it just was in the right place at the right time. But awful proud that he was able to take an action and save somebody's house. And then next, I guess we'll roll into one of the agenda items in this house. And I'll sit down and be quiet.
Well, next up is Chase Coble. I'm glad to see you at your house. I understand you've had some surgery, and I found out late, but we're still praying that everything stays the same and you're on the high road.
I did have, and I'm about 85%, but I'm good to go.
That's what we want to hear. Well, thank you for attending the meeting tonight. But the purpose of this meeting is to open some dialogue with our town staff so that we consider an extended time on the contract with the town on the trail. And we want this to run smoothly, as it did not the last time, and give this. Be assured that we are committed to work together, and we're going to do that, and we're moving on. So just, I know you know everything that's going on there from Chase, but he leaves a few stories up. And so if you can take the floor now.
I can, and certainly we're aware of the contract, and it's coming up, renewal and all, and it's always a question of how long the contract should be. I spent a little time in the last few days thinking about it, and as the contract's written, it really doesn't make much difference how long the contract is when there's a 90-day out on the contract. So if it's a year contract, it's still got 90 days out. If it's a 20-year contract, it's still got a 90 days out. I called our legal staff today at the county and talked to Jeff Crook. And one of the things I would encourage is this. Let's take that 90-day out a little longer. I'm not saying it needs to go to 10 years, but we need to have a reasonable amount of time for an out for the contract. If you get a council in that decides to do away with the sheriff's office contract, then we've got 20-some odd officers that we're going to have to absorb, or Indian Trail's going to have to hire, and it's a long process. So I would, and I talked to him, and the county's willing to sit down and do this, is come to an agreement about maybe a years of contract, maybe a 3-year contract, maybe a 5-year contract, whatever's agreeable. And then at the end of that, have a year to get out of the contract. I think that'll satisfy a lot of the contract issues, because it's always been, why just a year? Why not 4 years? Why not 5 years? Why not 20 years? Well, if you got a 90-day out, it doesn't make any difference how the contract is. If one of you want out in 90 days. And to be honest with you, 90 days is not enough time for either side to manage that size of contract. I mean, that's a huge contract. It's a lot of money. It's a huge contract. If the town decides to form their own police department, then it's still going to take a lot of time to do that. It's not going to be, I can do it today and start working tomorrow. So I think that's one of the things that the county and the town need to sit down and talk about. And I think it can come to an agreement to do that. And I do know there's some thinking on the extended period of time for a set price. I'm not sure how we can do that. I think it's reasonable to sit down and look at it. But if you're not careful, you'll be paying more on one end and it'll work out on the next end. So if we sign, and I'm just throwing this out there, if we have a 5-year contract and you have a set price that takes in the cost of living over the next 5 years, you're going to pay more on the first year and the second year, and then it'll wash out in the 5th year. Whether we want to do that or not, I don't know. But that'll be one of the questions that we need to work through. If that's what the town is interested in. I have no objection to any of that. We certainly have a good working relationship here, and with the town and the citizens. I just, it makes me very proud. And you know, Chase, he runs it. I just hear about it. But it's a really good relationship. And I'll answer any of your questions. If I get a chance, I want to talk to you just a little bit about stuff we've got going on. Other than I'll answer any questions you got.
Why don't we just wait till the end, and then you go, if you want to tell us, and then we'll ask you questions. If that's
No, I just want to tell you about some things we've got going on in the county that affects the Indian Trail, such as our school program. Are you aware that we just started a new school program in conjunction with the high schools? to have continuous, everyday drug dogs in the school. Superintendent's on board, all the principals on board. We've actually already been doing it. We go to schools every day with drug dogs to find weapons and drugs. And we've got to take care of our children and this opioid problem that's out there with the drugs. It's not a problem that's, I have to be careful when I talk like I am. You know, when I was growing up, you go out and drink a beer and get up the next morning and you're okay. Now, when you go out and take these drugs, you're dead. I mean, it's pretty amazing what's out there. We just had a educational program at Marvin Ridge High School. It'll be a program that we're going into all high schools, teaching the parents what it is, showing films, talking about the kids. So we think it's a really good program, and that's all part of our county, not just Indian Trail, but that's a big portion of our kids and our students. And when I think so far we've had 89 calls for overdoses this year. I mean, it's tremendous, and we're finding kids with needles stuck in their arms. I mean, it's a terrible problem, and if we don't educate ourselves and do the things that's necessary, then I don't think we're going to catch back up. I think we're behind now, and I think but we're doing a lot of things here in the Indian Trail, a lot of things in the school system. But it's all, when we say Indian Trail, it's all part of our organization and our agency. And what you get extra is important to us. So, but our working relationship is really good. So, but I'll take any questions or anything.
Got it. Yeah, all right. I didn't know if you were
I'm sorry, I thought the mayor was gone already. He told me you were leaving, so I don't know. I'm not spaced out. Go ahead.
all right. I just want to, thank you and Chase for, your continued commitment to the community. I received a lot of good feedback from the residents that, the deputies are really, at the end of the day, they're the first face of the government of the town to the residents, and they do a very good job of presenting themselves very professionally and willing to work with the residents. They're not out there strong-arming. They're not out there, trying to do the black and white. They're actually working with the community. So I definitely want to share that with you.
Well, thank you. That's our job. That's what we're hired to do, is work in the communities and promote safety. And that's what these officers do. If I can just talk to you longer than I need to talk to you. They do it every day. They work hard every day. They're out there. This thing with Dak Richardson, that's a normal work day. That's just a normal work day that this happened. So, it's very positive. Our community support here in Indian Trail is tremendous. I mean, it's tremendous.
And from a contract perspective, I think it's definitely, like Ms. Howe was saying, that, we're going to push aside what happened previously. I think getting a 5 to 7 year contract is definitely in the best benefit of the residents. It's in the best benefit of the town. It's in the best benefit, obviously, with the relationship between us and the Sheriff's Department. And having that 12, even 18-month period, because, whatever that is, yeah. Right? Because, as you said on numerous occasions, as Chase has said on numerous occasions, you just can't flip the switch and, go from the Sheriff's Department to a police department. And it just doesn't happen. It's not that easy. And I'm also in support of keeping it simple, right? We just want a simple contract. I wish we could do it on a handshake, but unfortunately we have, legal processes. But, I want to give my commitment to you that I'm going to do whatever I can possibly do to keep it simple. Right? Let's get through this quickly, keep it simple, yet make sure that it's beneficial for
I think that's fair enough, and we certainly agree with that. I don't have a date.
All right.
It was signed last, 2013, so it would be coming up in 18, so.
June or July.
Yeah, I hadn't.
So we'll put that on for tonight. Is now too soon for a renewal?
I don't think it's too soon for a renewal, but it's, I mean, we don't need to sign a renewal contract. What we need to do is figure out the contract.
So, Council Charlie, would you begin that? Have it put on a very close agenda coming up for June?
Yes, I would like to.
Sure, you need to be here for that?
If you want me here, I can be here, there's no problem.
I think this, if the manager and staff usually start on the negotiations for that first contract, so that they have to bring that in first. They could set up their meeting times for the sheriff. And by the way, everybody I've talked to, including Patrick, said that we're getting a good deal, and most people don't realize it. I have no idea what it takes to outfit one officer, just an office. He loves his tape. And the last thing is you can't take Chase, he does have to stay.
I agree.
You like that in the contract? So, is there consensus from the staff to begin the process and get this going? And you okay with that, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Sheriff Cathey, can we keep the cars this? That's a joke. Chase, you should have laughed at
I
that,
see
but
it, Chase.
you didn't. But, anyway, I just wanted to say that, you know, I was in that contract negotiation
I know.
back
I'm
in
well aware.
2013, and I think this is going to go a whole lot smoother than that day. But I just, you know, quickly wanted to say a little bit about you and a little bit about our police force and how fortunate we are to have you. And I think you, and I know you don't want me to say this or have to say it, but I'm going to say it, you're a great leader. You lead, and I'm going to tell you why you're a good leader. You're a good leader because you surround yourself with great people.
You're exactly
And
what makes
you
you.
surround yourself with people who care, and you surround yourself with something that money doesn't buy, and I've always said that. Money doesn't buy making people care about what they do. And I was fortunate enough to meet Lieutenant Coble at the time, now Captain Coble, long before I ever became a town council person. I had stolen something out of my garage or something, and I called and he came by, and I said, this guy cared. You know, he actually cared about, you know, what he did. But not to belabor the point, we're very lucky to have you, and I know what it would cost to have a police department. I know it would cost a whole lot more, but the caring and what you surround yourself with is tremendous. And Chase doesn't like he doesn't like people talk good about him, but he's the best, and he surrounds himself with good people. And you've surrounded yourself with good people. I just want to thank you, and I hope that as long as I'm here, you're our police department. So thank you for all you do. Yeah.
I do have good people. I mean, I want to think that I do okay, but I do have good people. And I have known since I was elected sheriff, if I didn't do anything else, I need to hire people that were smarter than I was. And we have tried to do that, and Chase is an example of that. So I think it's a good blend.
I think he may have called at his house, but he didn't lock his car.
I tell you, they turned 3 kids loose in the neighborhood, run down the street, pulling doorknobs, pulling door handles until they find one open. And that's, I mean, it's, our crime rate, if people would lock their doors, our crime rate would drop in half. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Anything else you want to need from me?
You know, besides what everyone else has said up here, I think it's the ancillary and the extra stuff that you provide for us that's above our contract. You know, we talked to Chase and some of his reports, it's the extra vehicles and people that come and aid us whenever Chase and they need extra bodies. So it's the extra that counts.
Well, I know there might be some difference in this opinion, but Indian Trail is still part of Union County. We are the Union County Sheriff's Office, and we're gonna come, and we're gonna do what the right thing. We're gonna serve the people of Union County and Indian Trail. And I think that's important that the citizens know that. The response, you watch ABC and NBC and CNN and Fox, that don't have nothing to do with our county, I promise you. Our public has supported law enforcement. I just can't tell you how the public has come out and said, Sheriff, we want to do this for you. We want to do this, not for me, but for the agency. And the support from our citizens has been tremendous. We're so fortunate to live where we live. And I know we have a little issue here, a little issue there, but it's not anything that we can't manage. And when you look around this country and see, we're so fortunate. But thank you. I'm gone.
Thank you.